I knew what I am doing. Yeah, so the conflict is good actually. So it gave me a confidence that I can go and talk to him like this. Uh, Many people will not do it. It's not out of respect. It is, I respected him a lot. It's not a question that if somebody is trying to suppress, you have to always tell. I know if you know really well, you tell it. Yeah? So uh, then. That's how it started, and then he will not give me a recommendation letter. Maybe he just had he took it very badly that his advice I'm not taking. But there are a lot of ways in life. You know, it's not that somebody will not support. I will die. So I one day I had to tell him that I come from a very different background, and if I just needed to do a PhD, I could have done it by several other means. But I want to be very honest, and therefore I am not even complaining against you to university. Let you will give one day to yourself the PhD. You will be tired of me. So you will be tired of seeing me. So I told that in my I come from Bihar where corruption is so high at that time that I could get it PhD without going to university, right? So so don't tell me I'm not working and all. I will get it from you, and then slowly it worked out, and it takes some time. He was angry, and but there are a lot of people who will come in support of me. I gave an application, somebody supported me. I went to Italy, did my PhD, and then one wonderful relationship with the Italian supervisor. And then I came Kiel, and we worked on marine marine fungus and marine life sciences, actually, marine genomics and all. What I want to tell you that I never I knew, okay, this person will say no to me, but there is another person who will be saying, who will be liking me if I am improvising on things. So they all took my interviews, and then and a very big scientist tried to offer me a position, and she asked me why your boss is not giving a recommendation. I told her, you can ask him, yeah. And then next day she became pregnant, yeah. So what day before she was ready to hire, but she made an excuse next day that I got pregnant and I cannot hire anybody. So I don't think the pregnancy is a reason not to hire somebody. So I told madam, no problem. I know. I will put a usual guy for you. But let's move on. So that can happen. Many people will go with your supervisor's view, and many people will go with your many people will go with the other statement. Yeah, so that's common. They want to be assured that a person is working, and but then somebody will be convinced. So believe me, when I went to Italy, the guy offered me beforehand the position, and then he interviewed me, and he said, you have 2 paper in BMC series. I have 2 paper in BMC series. Then what is the point I take your interview, take your recommendation letter? It's not required. So that's because then again my work bring me there, right? So it was. So you have to always keep on working, even if you are in a harder situation. If COVID hit, still you have to see how it can work, and still can we manage. We may have some setbacks, but can we manage that? Can we find a way? And there are several ways. Yeah, now when internet has grown up 25 years or so, there are more ways than earlier, right? Then you can negotiate. Once I was, and then luckily I had afterwards I had a lot of good supervisors or mentors, and by then I also grew up because I also understood the system. And by the time I finished my PhD and everything, I went to Italy. I myself had written a lot of papers based on my PhD or from all my experience. My supervisors said, they are all bullshit. I don't care. I said, no problem, sir. I will take care of it. So I went to Italy and we published a lot of papers from there. So still we have a lot of papers from there, that era itself. Yeah. So the time which used to take extra, I was every day working on something else. because that's when you know the if you know your football ground, you just need to practice, and that's what science is all about. You practice, 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 you will become perfect, and you will then challenge it. So that's what I. So then I will show you some of the great people's pictures, and even my PhD supervisor was a good guy. There's no question about. Only thing is a conflict of interest. Probably he wanted me to still keep it in his lab, but he has certain good things. Yeah, so he will read all the papers. He will organize it for me that I should also read it. So so in the black and white figure he is there in the middle. So then he's no more. He died because of cancer, unfortunately, in 2018 or 19, and just after retirement. But there was conflict of interest, like conflict of. I wanted to graduate. He wanted me to keep maybe another year, something like that. So rest is something like that, or sometimes you have some ego issues also. Yeah, so maybe it was my issue, but I never did it from my side. But probably it was my fault only. So situation you have to come out of it, and that's the solution. And the better it is that you have a good network where you can come out, then you can come out quickly. So this is my photo from Alessandro Graputo from Italy, where I worked for a year. And you see this is farewell parties he is giving. It was a big party. We only two of you can see, but we had a very strong relationship. Even now I can bump into it at his home. So look for those who believe in strengthening you, believe where you can bump in any time. So then I worked in from there I moved on to Kiel, University of Kiel, and you see that very happy lab in the Kiel. And there I worked several years, and then you see the right side. I was in German Cancer Research Center. My supervisors were in New Delhi, and we were in India for several weeks. So we just see the Chandigarh. We are driving in the tuk-tuk or auto. Some people are saying, and this middle picture in Kiel was very wonderful because the marine fungal genomics nobody was doing, and we got very popular. So I was kind of in the Kiel city. People recognize me they know my address, yeah, whole city. So that was kind of because they covered in me in newspaper several times, and even 100 kilometers away, people were knowing my address. So it was for me shocking because it's not that prevalent in Europe that people will know your address. And but yeah, so then again, my work brings me there, and yeah, you can go to the next slide, maybe.
Yeah, this one, Abhi?
That was me, probably.
This one, Abhi?
Yeah, this one. This black and white is me, a young one, and then this was the next one actually.
Yeah. This is the last one, Abhi. Yeah.
So then, yeah, this is the last one. Yeah. So this is the last one, and then we see, right. So then this me, and then this is a new lab. This is with Professor Zurhausen, who is a Nobel Prize winner. Was working in German Cancer Research Center. So to his office I can bump in any time I like, and he will be he's a very friendly person, and he's now 87 or something, and you will see human have drastic sides. One whom you cannot meet, one who have with him you can anytime get in and say hello, sir, how are you, and he will discuss with you a lot of things. He will tell what to do what kind of science you can do in India, what is required for Indian science, what is required for other countries. So basically, you will find a lot of people who will keep their door shut, and a lot of people who will keep their door always open. So you have to see who is fitting. And then we met Prash in Jaipur, and he showed us various places. This is Jantar Mantar. I think this is Jantar Mantar, and with Kari Nasta from German Cancer Research Center, and my friend Gagan was also joining us. And I think that the guy in the blue is the tour guide, right? And so Pras organized a very wonderful trip for us. And what I want to tell you is that you provide your skills, you will meet a lot of people in your life, and then some of them will be very friendly and supportive, and some of them may not be supportive. Some of them may suppress you, but you have to always go one step back and forth, and you have to move ahead. Life is all about moving ahead, and not feeling that
Yeah, hello, Abhi. Your voice is breaking. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, Abhi, your voice was breaking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we don't hear him.
Yeah, I think we have lost him. Probably he'll be back. Yeah.
He's talking. We need to turn on his.
Yeah. Yeah, Abhi, you're muted. You're muted. Yeah.
okay. Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Please. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was my view that you will always uh, get get an opportunity, and when you get an opportunity, try it. If you are always zero when you are not trying it. Like if you want to get an ice cream, you have to grab it. If you are not grabbing it, actually you do not have that. So basically, it will taste good or bad. So life is only always like this. So you will have good or even bad experience are actually better. Actually, in my opinion, that gave me much more freedom. And believe me, after 3 years, me and my supervisor were competing for papers. Now, if it was a good one, I would not work in that area. And area is not saying it is mine or it is yours. The way language is not saying it is mine or yours. We make it. It is our prerogative that makes us as it is mine or it is theirs. So basically, that that he do not take it. I had offered him the papers actually, written papers, and he said he is not interested. These are all garbage. So later on, it turned out, and it's not that his paper was coming in Nature. He was also publishing in the same place. So, uh, but I'm not complaining about him. But it's like he was trying to tell me that I have right to grow, but you do not have right to grow. So I have to decide. So you have to decide. And that's what in my laboratory we have made a system where it will not happen like that. Everybody has right to say their words. They are also we also take care a little bit that people are listening to each other. So if also somebody is imposing, so one guy came to us, and he was a very good guy, but at that time he was not able to listen to others. Yeah. So that will also it's based on communication both sides. So so both sides, and you have to gauge such interest. And in my journey, what I learned that every day you have to learn something. Monthly, sit down and write down on a paper what I learned this month. If you have not learned this month, improve it. If you have learned something, just count 2%. If you have learned 5 words, if you have learned one new skill, if you have just had a wonderful 5 videos on YouTube, or maybe on finance, maybe on science, maybe or anything, that 2% will matter, because that will 2% will like mutual fund. Yeah. So compounding will have an effect in long run. And what I showed you, several years of work, not several years of building, not that very short period. And then we are trying to grow up, and these are, and why I forgot to tell you that the slide with a lot of people is that these are real wealth of my lab. And people are connecting almost every day. At least 1 or 2 person is coming, and I'm never saying no to them. I give them some project, they come back, their prerogative. They will have a better chance. If they want to go and try their own chance somewhere else, we are not saying anything, but we give them, most of them, a chance, a small project. Even today, a girl I joined whose photo I have added, and we are giving them interns a chance all the time, and interns have to come back, and we know 50% time they do not come back, and but that's okay. They have their rights to choose, yeah. So but they we equal opportunity for everyone. So again, I'm telling you, I never asked anybody from where they're coming, what, just that they have master degree, okay, not even marks. And if they want to say that, oh, they want to work, they are allowed to work, and then they need to prove it. A language will be also not a barrier. If somebody is only speaking Kannada, my team will some member will talk in Kannada. If they are speaking in Bengali I do understand, so I will improve my Bengali. So Kannada teacher I'm trying to find, but I'm not getting who can teach me in evening. So we could be, my next target is learning Kannada, and Gaurang in my team will probably teach me. That's it. So we can go for. I'm open for questions. So.
No, wonderful, wonderful, Abhi. What an inspiration. I mean, it's quite an amazing journey, Abhi, over the last 2 decades. One thing I always wanted to ask you, Abhi, that you have done a short stint of Masters of Science in Environmental Science, which was a very brief 2-semester MSc. And then, of course, you did your MSc again from Madurai Kamaraj University. How did that MSc, take you up, towards getting a good PhD position? How good was your was
No, actually, so basically, where I was coming, you see, 1995 in Allahabad, computing was not taught. Yeah, you just see, computers were one thing which was available in kept in one room. And so when I went to Jawaharlal Nehru University was a very good place to be, yeah, irrespective of what you hear in media and all, because they give you a lot of freedom. So actually 1 year I spent there, and so I was studying environmental sciences. At that point of time, their Bioinformatics Center was coming up, and in Madurai they had a very strong Bioinformatics Center. Okay, and I started after 1 year I started my lab, and I have polio in my leg. So basically, what happens when I'm doing the experiment, Western blotting, my hand was shaking or arm was shaking. Okay, so look, this gave me idea. This will not work in long run. And I was working, and then I decided. During this year, I learned a lot of computing actually. So the computing was very strong in every department at that level. Fortran, C, Basic, they were teaching, and computers were available. Yeah. So just right on the standing in the School of Environmental Sciences, a massive computer infrastructure was available. They provided us, and we will sit the whole night and try to learn ourselves Fortran, and they will teach 1 hour in a day. Yeah. So that was really helpful. At least you have to see the computer, right? Today you can buy any laptop. At that time, laptop was not existing. So that was a very good experience. And then I realized, due to physical disability, immunology or biochemistry was the first choice. But then I thought, oh, what could I do? And then I had discussed with people whose name I have not put here. I was working with Professor Kasturi Datta's lab, and she suggested me, why don't you go to Madurai and work with Krishna Swami or KD, yeah, for instance. So that's when I actually went there. So I was directional. So I knew what I had to do. The rest was the course and all, which I passed, failed. These are all criteria. But I went to the one of the very finest mentor of India, Krishna Swami, and he's working with him was a very good experience afterwards. So each place, every day in life is very critical. Like talking to today is to this meet is also helping. I showed the first time the public that I have an infographic CV. Yeah. So it will help others. So the knowledge sharing, knowledge infographic or video CV will be next CV. So if somebody sends me an infographic CV in India, or if somebody sends me a video CV to me, the next day, even without the shortcoming, that person will be taken into serious consideration. So, Jawaharlal Nehru provided me a lot of changes in me and positive sense, and it's a very good place if you would really want to become a political leader. So I had choice to become political leader if I wanted to, and then debating, like not by debate by debate. You will have a lot of debates actually. So even I went to stage, and at that time I gave one speech. Yeah. So, that kind of not found in many universities, and they should also follow that, because then somebody is serious about providing them enough opportunities. So that was the main. So for example, I learned remote sensing there, which I'm not using today, but I understand how remote sensing data works. And today anybody can take those data from NASA site and use, but that day, those heydays, counting elephant in Indian jungle. So those were going on, and it is a wonderful place to be. And even a geography student can learn computing and do things in a different department. And that was existing that time. Today you will maybe you want to start it everywhere, right?
Right.
So.
Right. Wonderful, wonderful, Abhi. I mean, is it? Can I say, is it one of those particular reasons that you took up environmental bioinformatics as a main, focus?
Yeah, I had already I had a very strong bachelor's actually. The bachelor's was foundation, where I actually took on, and then I had environmental understanding also. And then today, just now before we had a girl has joined, and she will work on insect genomics. I told her, for us, it's not human is not a subject, or insect is not a subject, fungi is not a subject. For us, it's a string and DNA and protein. It's the same in every species. So the moment you will realize, you will not stick to that particular, and things are very rapidly changing. No, so if you one system. And then I was fortunate enough to meet wonderful people and wonderful networks that say the person I'm working in France I never met.
Right, wonderful.
So, yeah. So that's why we are able to pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you see, Abhi, I mean, you have worked with amazing, scientists of India, and you have collaborated with them. What is one important or common most thing that you liked among these key players that you work with?
In India or everywhere, people who are open, and people will you will have to always go by one, as you go. And people are very in India also very open to work, and so we have just started a cooperation from a person from working in Ranchi, just yesterday, and so both sides had to be very open with each other, and there are a lot of people are very interesting, very open. And I don't see any reason why we cannot achieve, as we are economically growing up and we are honestly growing up. Why can't we are on very right track actually. So scientists are actually trying their best, and our last generation also tried their best, even fourth generation. Because you just have to imagine, when India got independent, we lacked food, yeah. And that credit one has to, and I always tell people that you may find hundreds of regions that this is bad, this is bad. Look what is good in 70 years where we reached. And and then believe me, I know thousands of people who still when I was growing up, they could not educate themselves because they do not have the food to grow. And personally I know, yeah. So they are maybe my family members, yeah. So and then very good thing in Indian society is that people are very cooperative. Like even in COVID-19, people started distributing food, yeah. So in science also people are very supportive. Again, a question will come again. You have to always gauge the cooperative with whom I am working. They're really wonderful people, and I still give even unknown person one chance. I give everybody because I know that if the person is converted, then we are successful. And sometimes if there is also a misunderstanding, you have to give them the second chance. So I believe in this, that if there can be some misunderstanding at some time, you go back and discuss after some time, and try to see. And it's all about growing together. If I say my team becomes 100 members and other team has no members, then science is not growing. We have
Right.
to invite that everybody gets it. So in my team, those who are working, some of them are working in Bangalore colleges. Yeah. So and there also people are trying their best actually. So yeah, so that's really is in a very good shape actually. If if we sustain it, but definitely.
Right. Wonderful, Abhi. I mean, I know that's a way, where you probably agree to disagree.
Yeah.
One important thing, Abhi, I mean, what amazes me about you is, friends, and I need to tell something about Abhishek. Abhi has started his own sites.google.com on careers way back in 2001 itself at the helm of he doing MSc. That's a wonderful website, where he extrapolated all the career options for bioinformatics graduates. And he developed it way back in 2001 when probably, bioinformatics is, or probably internet is also still in infancy. And there were so many hits. I mean, people like me, I was also doing MSc at that point of time. We got inspired. We used to ask, some kind of questions in the forum where Abhishek, used to respond, very humbly, with all those kind of things. And is such an amazing thing. So, Abhi, something on those points. What prompted you to take up that particular
Okay.
wonderful?
So this credit go to SK actually. Like my MSc supervisor in Madurai Kamraj, anybody who is doing MSc has to have those days. He will promote them to have GeoSite website. GeoSite was Yahoo's product, yeah, website on GeoSite, GeoCities they call, yeah. So that is closed, and actually, so that was also the former form of Google Sites. So there he will tell everybody to do keep it and keep your blogs and keep way back in before 2000. So he'll keep them to do it, and he will check them actually. That's whether you are doing it. So basically, he was prompting to learn HTML actually.
Right.
Okay. So so those who don't know HTML, like yesterday in my class, I was teaching them what is EndNode, and I showed break down the code of EndNode and show them that inside is a program actually. So when they are learning Python, they can actually develop a EndNode program. So same way HTML is written in a formatted way that you can format B for bold, or something like italics. If I say some I code is there, so you go and check it here. So then now there are a lot of forms, CSS and all, but they all come from the same old. So he was telling us go and practice it. So the more you practice, by then we realize that websites are a good way to reach. Suppose I want to apply to you. My everything is on a website. You will go and have a look and what actually Abhishek is doing,
Right.
because you cannot overnight create a website. You make a mistake. Maybe it helped in my career. So now in my lab it is compulsory really after 6 months of work that they have GitHub repository. And I discuss with them that at least along with me they can pull data to the GitHub, and even very small things we are putting on GitHub. So people may think that is not you, they are not doing science, but we are training people to add it. And genomic data also you put it on GitHub. So because my reason is that if some organization close tomorrow where we put the data or data will be lost, so we'll put it on multiple platforms and multiple hard disks and everywhere. So so that prompted us actually, and then all of those who did bioinformatics or non-bioinformatics, they all took in, and probably I had lot of time to spend on it, so I liked it actually. So I still like it. So I actually am running we are going to launch multiple website of our labs. Actually, not one but 5 websites under development. And sometimes I am getting lost that what will be suiting best. Yeah. So multiple direction, and you have to keep evolving. So if I'm not using for some time later I have to. So it's like decorating your home. So we are still keeping and anybody who needs any assistance in their career, I'm very open to help them. And I do understand it was very difficult for me to. You see, this is like he was going like this. It was not like this. Like was like this. So if you need any assistance, and we will tell you, we can tell you what you can do and what is best for. But then you need to plan it. So suppose you want to work on next generation sequencing and want to do PhD in USA or in Germany or in France, suppose, yeah, or in India. At least you have done something on sequencing, yeah. And lots of people come nowadays that they want to only NGS. Then I ask them, did you do sequencing study? If you have not done sequencing study, it will be difficult for you to do anything, because if you do not understand next generation sequencing, if you do not understand sequencing, next generation sequencing it has the word next generation. So start with zero. Start with align your name with 5 mutations, yeah, 5 strings. See how it works, and those very basic assignments. And once you grow up, you can actually take on from there on. So that's why. And it was told almost everybody to do it in our and that's why I value SK over anyone else in Madurai.
Right.
So that.
Wonderful. I mean, there is something special about you, Abhi. I mean, you have given wonderful due credit to your mentors and in the form of Krishna Swami here. And not only that, dear friends, over the last at least 9 days, I've connected over 5 or 6 people to Abhishek, and he promptly agreed to have them as mentees immediately without asking their background. That's the greatness of Abhishek. I mean, he gives that much wonderful time and energy. He's a very quick responder by email and as well as through WhatsApp. And all the mentees so far who have worked with Abhishek, they have been absolutely very much encouraged to take up good science. So he values science very much. But one thing fascinating about Abhi is with due respect to him, is differently abled, just like Shiv, my another good friend, but that has never come across his way to take up science. So so I hope Abhishek wouldn't mind if I ask him
what is
the yeah. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you can ask me. Yeah, you can ask me.
Sorry.
No, you can ask me. You are saying something. Yeah.
So what I was saying is, what does your conscience tell you, Abhishek as a scientist and Abhishek as a differently abled researcher?
Okay, so this is a very good question. So actually, I wanted to answer this question on YouTube someday. So look, you are born, and then I got polio in my leg. Yeah. So after 6 months, then as a 6-month child, I don't have senses. My parents took care of everything, but they provided a wonderful atmosphere. Suppose I want to go to play cricket, they will ask me, "Oh, you go and play cricket." Okay, so what happened that they never stopped me. So then I took it everything as okay. Then why I went to Germany? Yeah. So some of my good friends told me, for you it will be very difficult to go to USA or abroad, because there are you will find less people here. At least you have some people. I said, let me try this, yeah, because maybe I'll fail. And they are saying correct. But then when I went there, I realized that part of the world is even better. Eh? But then I had a confidence from my home. My credit goes to my parents, not to me. That they told they made me think that okay, somebody has psychological problem, you have physical problem. Somebody has sneezing. This is a kind of a sneezing, yeah. And rest of things they organize around me. So it's not, I know it's not easy, but it's not, it do not come into my mind even today. So if tomorrow I have to go to Kashmir to give a talk, I just go there, right? So you have seen that I will reach there on the spot. And on the spot, the organizers will take care. And sometimes I'm carrying my own wheelchair. So, and sometimes you see, all the way I went to Germany, yeah, right? So, I was managing my all living things. So that's the way. That's what I tell that it's the role of the society to encourage if somebody has an physical disability or any other kind of disability, or any they're coming from say far in a society which is say someone is coming from say a community from an island, somewhere in Indian island. You have to provide them enough opportunities that they integrate. And India, they gave me a lot of opportunities. In Germany also they gave me a lot of opportunities. So I don't find any difficulty. Yes, there will be sometime you apply and do not get it, but then who has not faced that? So if I tell that the world is bad, I know again I only count on the skills. Yeah. So in my team, Gaurang I met first time yesterday. So I have given him, he's working PhD student from without even eye-to-eye contact. And Vinit is working from Jamshedpur. So if they're working, I am really bothered about their work. Yeah. So if they're working good, and they also know that if they inform me that they have certain issues, they have exams, or they have some personal, and they have sometimes relationship issues, they also come in, pop in. And if they inform me that day, they are excused. So approved actually. So basically, very politely and that's how. And many people gave me opportunity. I learned from them, right? So I learned from German Cancer Research Center, from Kiel. They gave me opportunity without. Odds to say, Achilles Pandey, they all gave me opportunity. You gave me opportunity. So if I am able to say, your organization also told me to join, right? So they gave me opportunity. So lot of wonderful people are there, and there will be some problems. And if somebody really, so first of all, you have as a differently able person, I will say, keep this out of the mind that world will not give us opportunity. And then work on it. World is not behind us. They may facilitate us once they know. Okay, and then we have to facilitate first ourselves. Like everybody gets up and make their breakfast of their own. So that's when we have to understand that we have to organize. So my parents organized everything for me. Right, as a child, and then they gave me a lot of freedom. You will laugh at me that I was at 6 or 7. I wanted to become Kapil Dev. Okay, nothing else, no science and all. Ball will be in my hand, and I am saying to my parents, "Okay, I am off to the ground." And literally, I was wanted to become Kapil Dev. Yeah, so like I will ball like him. So okay, but my parents never told me that it's not possible. They said, okay, we'll try it in the colony, and then we played until BSc. We played regularly cricket, and then time do not permit afterwards. But that kept me being healthy probably, and be active as possible, as possible, and. So if I have a child, I have to take care of that child. Yeah? So first, and then there will be people who will be discriminating, but discriminators are everywhere. So look at the history of Germany. There were a lot of discriminators in the past, and then proudly they come back, and then they have shut down those things, right? So and nowhere if you look at the world history, you will see that how many discrimination. So today the world is better than 100 years back or 200 years back. And make the world. In my life, I'll make the world. Therefore, I'm giving everybody a chance that, without asking never ever, even I've not seen their CV. Yes, therefore, yesterday I told you, if you want to work, you join. Then you tell what you are able to do it. and a small project I will give. So what I normally do is, for what I give them, I tell them to read and present your on the topic, and that's when we start. So basically, everybody gives each other chance, and there are problems, but problems are everywhere.
Right. Amazingly inserted, Abhi. One thing that also amazes me is, Abhi, that you have been the topmost reviewer of various journals, and you have also been an editor of several journals, including PLOS and BMC and other stuff, and also now the managing editor of IJCB. So, how good has been your experience so far as a reviewer, and where do you see
Yes.
the reviewing, coming up the next decade? Yeah.
Reviewing. So again, as a reviewer and editor, I am doing because I'm learning from it a lot. So for example, if you are reviewing, you understand what is going on in your area before then it is published. Okay. Then one thing which I follow is, I never look who is author and what is, again, from where it is coming. I just read the topic, abstract, and nothing else. So I don't know who is there. So somehow I never read the even author in a published paper. Yeah. I just, if I have to cite, obviously there's citation manager which will cite Abhishek et al. Or blah blah et al. But then I'm not seeing what is there, what is the content, and in a given journal's prerogative, if it is fitting. And sometimes during editing, we see that somebody has rejected a paper without understanding the journals. They're saying this. Some people think that it has to be Nature or no paper, yeah, something like that. But that's not a good way. They're given the scenario, what is given, and that's when you need to have much more reviewer to be trained, and much more training has to be provided. So in my team, everybody is reviewing some papers, and they are learning. So from very beginning, it's also an art. Reviewing others by respect, telling them this is not correct and you can improve it, but at the same time, and that also teaches, when I become as a reviewer or editor, I also learn in life how to respect others.
Right.
And in COVID-19 time, a lot of people are not able to review. This year, I'm no more reviewing any paper. Actually, I'm editing but not reviewing, because I have set an agenda of 20 per year, and then if it's crossed in 9 months, I'm not able to take on. I'm sorry to say that, but one has to prioritize how much they can do. And earlier I was not doing that, but then I realized that time is valuable in different areas. Even talking to students is more important, and so that. But when you're doing that, you will realize lot of things. When you're reviewing our own paper or reviewing how to write your own paper in a better way, and how to communicate with people.
Right.
And so that also, and a very interesting thing, reviewing in IBAB, which is an organization in Bangalore. One of the very earlier students told me that they taught them in their BTech itself. Okay. And in from BTech onward, they were reviewing papers from Bioinformatics journal and big journals. Yeah. So long back, 10-15 years back, they told me, and we had a lot of discussion over there. And then others told me if they understand the topic, they can do it.
Right.
And so different organizations have different training programs for that. And I got training in my PhD program in Germany. We had a training program. So I'll write a paper and I'll send it to EBI, and they will, EBI PhD students will. So I worked in this German, one of the finest graduate program in Bielefeld, Bioinformatics program, PhD. Was the first. It was started after 2001. And before that, they only were hiring people from India, actually. So because India was far ahead in the bioinformatics program. So there they taught us that they built a network of 5 universities across Europe, and then one was in Helsinki. And so we'll send their papers across each other, and then everybody was taught how to write reviews, send the actual comment to them, and so. And 1 year each university will organize. So 1 year I organized actually from my university, that all paper, as editor I collected the papers and then distributed among all. Say we have 100 is here, 100 PhD there. So based on the areas, and also that exercise actually helps. So probably that can be, we can also utilize that. Paper is written by so that paper of mine is online actually. So I had written very badly at that point of time, I must agree. So but if I see it from today's angle, but then we all are learning from the process. And so that they had this idea that a student's paper, students will review, and everybody else is only monitoring. Yeah, unknown person is reviewing, so they don't know them. By then they will know it. I believe knowing all 100 PhD students in other institute is difficult in another country.
Right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Very nice, Abhi. So Abhi, I know you were trying to think of coming back to India in 2018, and then you have been the topmost Ramalinga Swami fellows.
No, I'm not thinking from 2018.
Yeah.
I was thinking from 2011. So it's very hard to come back.
Oh, is it?
It's not easy to come back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So 2011. Yeah. So if you really see how good has been your Ramalinga Swami application, Abhi, can you please tell something to the young audience?
Yeah, sure. So the Ramalinga Swami is wonderful. For any returning. So again, in life, I am crediting my students for what they have possessed. Okay. So the same thing is applied to the institute also. If you have this fellowship, they will save money, and they will give position actually. So there's nothing. They're not doing anything wrong. In some way, I'm also doing the same thing. They're appraising their skills, and money is always a question. Yeah. So Ramalinga Swami is offering initial 5 to 7 years salary plus 40 lakh grant, which is substantially good because many laboratories in Europe get less than that. Okay, so just do not live in a hype that West has more money, and maybe MIT has better money, but not all universities. So university where I work, many PIs annually get less than 10 lakhs.
Right.
And the things are way expensive there. So the Ramalinga Swami fellow, if somebody want to write, there is a 30th October is the last day, and then you need to find a cooperating one institute who is supporting you. Ask several institutes at the same time, and one who agrees. Not many will agree. I agree. But if you are not able to find, you are listening to me, just contact me. I will find you for you, because it's extremely difficult, and we know, like, why unknown a person will take even care. But for me, unknown, slightly known person has actually went to that vice chancellor's office and got those papers done. So to pay him, I will do it for anybody who whether I don't know him or know him. If somebody is approaching, I will help to find that. Because in science, everything is a planet. So India is another planet, Israel is another planet, and Germany is another planet. Yeah. So from there, you can, if you want to reach, you have to shoot missile actually. So so anybody who want to, and you can always reach Dr. Meenakshi Munshi. She's a wonderful lady, and she will help you out. But she also has certain limitation. You have to understand. You cannot ask how to write application, right? You can ask one of the fellow, right? And they have and then also this is not a project grant. You cannot say I want to work on a blood samples, yeah, and I will find this, because then they will ask where you get the blood samples. There is a flaw, yeah. You cannot keep a flaw open in the proposal. Slowly we'll understand. The proposal is saying I'm giving you 40 lakhs, I'm giving you salary. Tell me what you will do. Yeah, right. Now you will say I'll collect 1,000 blood samples. That's not possible, because you are living in, say, in Germany or USA or Israel or Canada, and you want to come here. You don't have a connection point who will provide you 1,000 samples. So write a proposal which is that you will develop some platform or develop certain. It's a faculty's vision. It's a granting for your vision, not on a project. So many people. So I have collection of 10 successful and 10 non-successful grants. Okay. When I was preparing, I took almost 2 years before I applied. Okay, and I evaluated all the one who have got it. So 90% of those who are returnees have got some kind of fellowship. Otherwise, they have not returned. Okay, so 90%. So if you take those 300 list of 300 Ramalinga Swamis and other fellows, collect those, compile those, and cross one by one. All in 40s and 50s are listed there. So basically, this is I'm telling from my experience. Otherwise, when you go to the institution, India is still not in a position where people make decisions, because people are very afraid. And I'm upfront and telling you the truth, that as an individual, the country needs to make decisions, and people are not able to make decisions. Yeah, so they conduct interviews, they will not hire anybody, and they'll send the file to the government saying that they conducted interview, they were not able to find suitable person. What the government will do? Suppose even if this government is or that government is there, government will follow your what you have written. They will follow that, right? They will not come intervene with your democratic rights. Yeah. So called your democratic rights, because you have not selected somebody. And basically, I gave a lot of interviews in a lot of national organizations. From 2011 itself, I was giving interviews. So just believe me that it was way harder chipping in, but you stick to it and then you organize. So I will tell you why it took me time, because I was not very organized. I was, and then I was thinking, if they're not asking me, why should I go? So, but you mature it. So I also got matured. Then I started evaluating all the files, and you can find it. All the person who have come return, they need some support, and that money which you may find it small for project to run, but at least you can buy one computer. At least you can hire one employee. And slowly, so now I have 3-4 grants. So basically, if I have not come here, I have not taken those grants up, and suddenly grants will come. So those who want to come back. It's a good place to be. You have to find a good laboratory, not to look only big labs. You can find a lot of labs which can be good and provide you support. One who is supportive. So you have to find. You do not have to go before a big name. You have to find where you will be big.
Wonderful.
So where you will get your respect. So it's again, it's like a marriage. So if you do not want to marry somebody who will not respecting you as a person and not giving you freedom. So a lot of male and female will be sitting who want to marry later on. So respect is a paramount of any relationship. And and it's gender independent. Anybody will not respect you. Anybody will respect you. So and same thing applies. So institution, find out the place where you get maximum amount of respect for your work, your credentials. And there are a lot of in even tier 2, tier 3 cities, and even in big cities. Yeah, but you have to find, and then you have to network. Yeah, so this Bioclues provides that network, so you can reach me. You are reachable to me because of Bioclues. So we are thankful, Prash and others, and we are also part of it. So I am thankful to me also, so, because we are able to provide some time to it. And anybody who's writing fellowship, do not if it fails, do not lose your heart, because my fellowship failed so previously. Then goes back what went wrong. Sometimes things are not in your hand. So I do not get UGC FRP. So I wrote in 2014-15. Yeah. So don't worry about it. So you will lose some. No, nobody is such a champ. Like even Tendulkar cannot say that I never bowled out for 0. Yeah. So you will be bowled out because of many other reasons. So sometimes ball spin too much. You in Lords. So take it as a challenge that. And then talk to people actually. So I made a mistake, and I want to tell you, they talk a lot of people. They may help you, they may not help you, but talk to them. And so that if they are not helpful, I'll give an example. Today I'm getting lot of interview option to go to different places. join different places. But today I'm not looking, so they have to give it somebody else. So and this is due. Even today I received an email to come and give interview. So probably they want me today, but someday I'm not looking because I'm settled in this city, and I know what I'm clear about what I want to do in my life. And so you will get a lot of clarity, and sometimes not coming is also good. Okay, if you're not coming, you have to see what situation you are in, and if you are not comfortable, you will have to dealing with the PI will be a lot of stress and budget, money, everything. So sometimes you have to sit down and think what you need from your life actually, and then decide whether you want to return. And if you want to return, there are 3-4 fellowships. One who come as early as possible. Those who are in their 30, there is a DST Inspire. That has a more number of faculties. The younger you are, the better it is. And then there's the 2 fellowships, one from DST and one from DBT, Ramalinga Swami. So those are fellowships, and there are some more fellowships which is hidden actually. So you have to find maybe some institution directly ready to hire you. Come visit, and as the Professor Bijar Raghavan told in many of his meetings, that you need at least 24 months before you start coming, and I will say you need at least 5 years to plan, organize. You write a proper proposal. Somebody should check your proposal. And again, for Ramalinga Swami, I'm telling you, you need to develop your vision rather than your proposal. You say, I will work on genomics. I want to conquer, say, environmental genetics. And in environmental genetics, some problems in not very specific that you will only study sub-Saharan wild pig or something like that. Because then the question will come from where you will get it. Keep yourself broad open so that you can reach many places wherever. So that's what they are actually offering you, to come and explore opportunities.
Very
and
good.
Yeah.
So Abhishek, I mean, if I can just ask you something slightly towards this, as someone who has been into cancer genetics and interested in molecular evolution and phylogenetics, where do you see the molecular evolution of cancer going in the current cancer epigenetics era, especially in terms of India, because there are many cancer cases that are uprising. So where do you see the molecular evolution of cancer epigenetics going on in India?
The cases are very high, and I'm not. I even see this. There are a lot of study to be carried out, and it should be a priority project for us, and it should be given priority budget on this. And we may have in my opinion, we may have a different difference from. We may have a different genetic markers and other features in genetics that may lead to, we have to evaluate those, because maybe these are the reasons why we have more breast cancer, say in the villages as well as in the city registries are actually we have now. And so we have to focus on human diseases in it, not on a Western or a Chinese angle, but on our own data sets actually. And if we can do it, we have to see the differences. The era is now differences of population across the population, rather than looking that one genome will solve all problem, or someone else's genetic analysis will solve regional problems.
Great, wonderful. And one final question, Abhishek. What is the best advice that you wanted to give someone who wanted to take up bioinformatics?
Yeah. So what I will tell you is that I never thought that bioinformatics is an independent field of biology. Okay, so you just keep it that bioinformatics is you require more interdisciplinary to be in your thoughts, and then you have to improvise, and you have to always be slightly more on the toe than a pure biologist. Say if you are studying immunology, immunology is a area where you're focusing on macrophage and B cell, T cells, and then you are forgetting all other type of cells, right? But in actuality, immunology is not working like that. Biochemistry is also involved in immunology. And so do we have to understand that things work on a system, and the day you will understand, you will start practicing. It's always chemistry is involved, always. So how did I learn? Actually, first I went to Madurai, and then I started learning, and then I went to the guy who was sitting in the computer science department. Those who taught me more of what is how cell will work. So basically, you have to look for the from not what courses are taught to you, but what all you require as a bioinformatician. So today, a lot of courses are available. That time, not courses are available, online available, offline available. People are training, and those you attend and try to get an idea as early as possible that what is going on here. So you need to know, as Biostar has figured it out, that you need to know statistics, mathematics, computer science, biology, chemistry, physics, and merger of that. A little bit of all you need to know. Yeah. And then you have to understand when to use and what to use. Say molecular evolution, you want to use the concept of molecular. At least one tool you should be very clear. Like say Mega is one tool. Many people will disagree that Mega is a good tool. Yeah, but that's the expert molecular evolutionary guy is saying. But to understand how the phylogenetic trees are running, that is one of the very good tool to start with. So you have to start gauging some interest in the area, and then focus one by one. So if you see, I work on a lot of areas today. That's because I focused it. Okay, this 6 months I have spent on that. Without that, it is difficult. Okay, so you have to give some time, and once you start understanding what will be. Suppose you have studied SNPs in human. Now, if I have to study an insect or buffalo, now I know the genetics will work in the same way, or molecular evolution function in all direction in the same way. And so, if somebody is saying SARS-CoV in Bangalore is different and SARS-CoV is different in the say 30 kilometer away, do they understand evolution? So that's a question I am asking. Just because of one mutation, one new strain will not come. A strain comes out of dramatic changes, and a species comes even massive dramatic changes, right? So one mutation, and did they resequence those 6 samples to confirm that those mutations were actually, or did it confirm by Sanger those mutations? So a lot of stories you will pull it out, but then you have to ask. So we have about 12 to 13 papers. Most of people know in SARS-CoV, and one we are put in a review, not others, because we want to give ourselves time. Do we understand the system really well?
Right.
So and then so we are starting viral genomics with this. We're not trying in the horse race for SARS-CoV papers actually. So and that's where we are taking a lot of times. Because when we want to go, the reviewer should say, yes, Abhishek, your paper is good, make these changes. Not that you outright they reject it. And so basically the same thing applies. So everything you need to give yourself some time. And bioinformatics is biology only. You have to first understand. You need for biochemistry you need a separate skill. Immunology you need separate skills. Slightly separate skills. For this also you need separate skills. In this skills there are a lot of other things. The statistical genetics, molecular evolution. You need slightly different skills. And then if you are having a profound knowledge of statistical genetics, you can do. If you have profound knowledge of biology, you can do molecular evolution. And yeah, so and then read a lot of so sit 2 hours in a week, read papers from different areas and see what they do actually. So then you will so maybe Sunday 2 hours you will not talk to anybody, just 2 hours or in a week. Read some papers from other area where you thought you never worked, and then see what they are doing. So the system is by and large working the same. And bioinformatics can be applied in any areas, so do immunology. And those who do not understand, then they say this is a separate area and that is separate area. If you are not able to resolve a problem, then it's a problem. So think how the problem will be solved. So like those who are studying Python, I will tell you, if you are counting a nucleotide or you are counting money, it's the same thing, right? So EMI calculator or nucleotide frequency calculator is the same thing. So same applies to. So the moment we start realizing that I know that example in economics, now I can apply in biology. So the moment we will start doing it, we will be faster than others. And so that's when so play with one system. Suppose a girl has joined today to work on insect genomics, and then if she's working as some student or students have worked with lichen genetics, they will now can work on other genetics as well. So they can invite those what they learn tool, how they did blast, how they analyze. Same thing will. So these are all implication. And believe me, the computational biology will have, or say they will put the word data science now. Data genomics will have a very bright future if you are understanding. Everybody has to analyze things on computer. After COVID, it will be even more. And now several jobs is offered at the moment for 2-3 years. You are not supposed to go to Australia. You are from India, so or something like that. So if your skill is all full, you can actually negotiate those jobs from them. So and that's why. So anybody, I will tell you why I am offering so many people. I talked to Dr. Soda, Professor Sodamani once. 1 minute, I said something. I do not understand what I said. She understood. Okay. She gave me an opportunity. And now I have to turn it around. Same is that the person coming to me and he or she is able to give me a pinch, maybe slightly vague. I try to give them. I'm ready to give you platform, and then we are teaching everything. So in my team, we are teaching how to plan their. I will do blast 1, blast 2, blast 3, something like that, and then they will automatically start planning. So that one somebody will teach you when you're joining our team, and how to present slides and all. And I'm upfront and very honest with you that if my talk is not good, I will say my talk is not good, and learn that accepting that my talk is not good. So and improve on it. So basically, those things we are providing in our team, and that's why chance people will give you, and then whether I am able to convert it or not. And sometimes we are not prepared, we are not able to grab it actually. So I also failed a lot of time. So there's nothing wrong in that. Only thing is that once you realize it, you prepare for next time. Next time you not fail. First time you fail. But next time failing is like a foolishness, because if I am not knowing programming now, I should learn it after a year. Something like this you should give yourself. Second, and a lot of people fail, no? So many people fail after 4 IS exams, right? 4 other exams. So failing is not a problem. How you will take on from what you learn out of it, that is more important, and that you will carry forward in your life.
Wonderful, Abhishek. I mean, it's a great honor having you today. You have been an amazing inspiration to me and to many folks, Abhishek. I cannot tell you in words how much you have inspired, people like me. In fact, you have been an epitome of success and a wonderful bioinformaticist, and above all, wonderful human being. If you really look back, the 2 decades of wonderful research that you have instigated, you have taken up challenges, you have been an outspoken scientist, you have been an open-minded scientist, you have really brought a kind of a different face value towards what and how bioinformatics is really seen in India, and the kind of molecular evolution related different multifaceted science that you do towards cancer epigenetics, towards phylogenetics, and now towards viral bioinformatics. We wish you all the best, Abhi.
Thank you, Prab. Thank you.
And I'm sure there are many folks who would also listen to this and get inspired from this. You have always been with us, with me, with Bioclues, and you have been one among the best mentors that I've ever seen through my life. The kind of science that you value and the kind of science that you value for others as well is amazingly impeccable. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for your wonderful time and energy today. Thank you.
Yes, Professor Jayaraman is asking some questions actually.
Yeah. Yes, Abhishek. In fact, I also have a few questions. So,
Yes.
so sir asks, can Abhishek tell us how to improve science culture in the country, and maybe if you want to describe two of your best works.
Okay. So basically, as science will only improve when we suppose somebody comes for an interview, yeah, and PhD student came from coming to an interview, and if that person is not qualified, just tell it that same day. Do not waste his time. Tell it where he can improve. So someone came to an interview to me, and I told him, "You are good in this, but I am looking for this." And then that person knows. So many times in my career also, somebody else has told me those. Okay, maybe in Switzerland, maybe in Germany, and they don't offer me position. Yeah, but then I know where to improve, and openness is very important, and as a society as well. Yeah, so we have to accept that these are challenges, and these are science will only grow when we accept that there is a problem. Until unless we accept, until I grow up as a scientist, when I accepted what are my mistakes. And same way, the science in the country has to improve. We have to accept that what are the challenges, what are the where we are making mistakes. So one example in the country that if you really do not have to hire, do not invite for the interview. Do not waste anybody's time. Value their time as your time is valuable. Just do not do it just because you just want to close the file. Yes, tell it we are not able to do it. We have some pressure, whatever. Be honest in a written form, and that they will be honest in written form, because in the country nobody is trying to write it actually. So no organization write me back saying that you are not selected, and that's a drastic difference coming from Europe to me. And one organization do not reply when I ask a question, because they just want to, they thought they will ignore it and I will be with them. No, that's not working, man. You have to answer the question upfront whether you can do this or not do this. And even if you not do this, I will join. But if you're ignoring it, somebody, it's you are signaling that you are not a good organization. And I know they understand that they were still behind me. So you have to understand that being as a upfront, you have to be very honest, and in next 20 years, the way we are young people are growing up, I'm sure that things will be drastically different. Yeah. So because youth is going towards that you have to be very honest with me, otherwise I will not write it. So I'm in that group of people that if somebody is working, give them chance. If you are not able to do something, don't waste others' time, and then science culture will only improve, and improve in this honesty is coming from the base level, and then obviously then people will cooperate. Now people are scared somebody will run away with the project, and someone will take the idea and give it to somebody else. Someone will collect the idea and say and give them. So in Germany, the German ministry will not reject your grant. They will give you a chance to revise and send it once you submitted it. So like a review paper, like a paper. They say make these changes, then we are ready to. So give them a chance when they have somebody has written a grant or applied to you. Then explain the reason exactly why that person. So that where the person made a mistake, person must know, right? And so some interviews where I went, and some very profound national institute, the person who was interviewing do not know which position I applied. So why they were interviewing me actually? So that's when I find and honestly, if you that faculty who was interviewing me has to ask to that their kids will face the same problem if they are not honest, because they are living here. Many of them are not. Many of them coming from America and giving interview and going back to California and having much bigger jobs. But they are living here. The society is not changing. You will face the problem. So and many people are desperately needing jobs. Respect them actually. So it's not that they do not give me jobs. It's no prerogative. Maybe I am not going there, but some people are desperately looking their jobs. Their parents are dependent on them. They have lot of financial issues. And so telling that the government is honest and all will only work when we are honest. And when we are honest, not honest, the government can't do anything, because they will not intervene within your files and start telling everybody what to do. And so the science culture can only improve when we are openly discussing, like this platform. You will put it in YouTube, whatever I'm saying. So I don't care who is thinking what, yeah. And that much I'm open to it. So my channel will, I'm not finding time. My channel will push views in the coming month. Which due to COVID-19 we could not do it. But we have this idea that we'll view in different languages. My students will talk in Kannada, the view which we share in general. And it's good to disagree, but let's have a discussion over this. And only thing is that things will only grow up. Somebody saying something?
No, I think no, Abhishek.
Yeah. And my best work comes from marine fungal genetics, where in marine there were not very few species are known, and India is still is not known which species is producing what. So we are gauging how we can do Sagar Manthan of Indian Ocean, and now I'm trying to gauge a plan and to pull out the information from what is there inside the sea, what is the genetic architecture of the sea. And so that was one of this one. And every work I value actually. But then the insect genomics, which were 5,000 insects we want to sequence, and Bayer College of Medicine has that money for they will sequence and give it to us, but we are not finding enough people who will participate in those analysis. They have built a platform and all, but it's a community science, so I credit them for, because the sequencing cost is not on someone. And that even if very small molecular evolution paper, I will credit them a lot, yeah. But then these areas and cancer genomics, you all understand why disease genomics is important. That's also a very valuable thing. But if I have not worked on the molecular evolution, I could not be in German Cancer Research Center. German Cancer Research Center hired me without interview. Reason was that year I had many papers, 10 or 12 papers I published on molecular evolution. So the Kari just gave a call and said, which flat you want to stay in Heidelberg? And I was like in shock, who's this? But then I asked what is on the So basically, again, the work will bring us to somewhere. So he appreciated the work, yeah. And everybody is doing that with resolving cancer, controlling cancer. But at the same time, if you cannot discover new drugs from the sea and other part of the ocean, or say Rajasthan Thar, or a lot of things are going on in this world, right? So that extreme environment, we are thinking to get characterize drug-like compounds from lichens, or medicinal properties of lichens in terms of secondary metabolites. And sometime our grants are failing, sometime it will pass also, hopefully. But those areas will be very interesting. And these are the main two work where I did, and I think I have to really do a good job from here on. And my team is listening, and we are hopefully coming back. So that will be the new challenge. And so therefore we are looking in a different direction, and therefore you see lots of people on my slide. I credit them because they are the value to my. They bring value, all of them value to nothing else. Money I can acquire, but human resources are not there, then good human resources are not there, then nothing can be achieved. And that's it. So if I know more questions, then yeah.
Yeah,
So my
yeah.
team members, I thank them actually.
Yeah, I was just checking the YouTube page, Abhi. There was one question, but I think that was already answered. I think that's the same Dr. Jayaraman has posed. So, Sir has already mentioned that thanks a lot for honest and open answer. So, if there are no questions, I once again thank you, Abhi. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. So basically, I do not mean anybody to insult and all. It's just a discussion. Even my PI's name I have not taken because as an individual, it is an individual. It is not his problem. It's a human error. Actually, we call it here. So when I'm angry that day, I do not talk to my students so that I do not make a mistake, unrepairable mistake. Yeah. So first of all, I'll not get angry, but when I'll get angry, I will tell that person to come next day rather than I make a mistake. So human errors are part and parcel of life, and we have to know how to deal with it in all the society. We have to find solution for actually. So, and in every system, we have to find a solution. And that's what only also students have to learn this actually. When you are angry, do not talk. Just let the things cool down and then you start talking.
Right. Yeah. Very well said, Abhi. Thank you so much, Abhi. It's been absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Send you the recording. Thank you so much, Abhi. I'm greatly honored, to have you today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day to everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhi. Bye bye. Yeah.
Bye bye.